Hello, Game Masters, Space Masters, Dungeon Masters, players, and the like. Today I'm going to talk about Space Planet Hex battles. How I use it in my game and how it works is kind of fun, so I'm going to kind of go through some detail on how it works out, and hopefully you understand it and see how it works. And once again, this is going to be part of what I'm doing for White Star, and it's not really in the book, so it's my take on something, so we'll see how it works, right? Start off with, I'm going to show you where this is located. It's right here. It says Space Planet Hex Battle. So you click that link, and this has all the information you need. I have a couple of quick links. One of them is attack and defensive measures. So this is explained in detail in another video. You can use that. And this is out of the White Box Companion book. I think it is the stuff about damage reports. So without further ado, let me go ahead and explain how this works. So how a space hex battle is going to work, you're going to have your ship located, all right, at 0410 is the hex number down here, okay? Every time I'm mentioning a hex plane, the hexes are right here. So if you wanted to get your own grid to play it, you can do this and play it. That's one already set up to go, right? There's actually one for the planet too, which is already set up, ready to go, if you want to present on the screen. And if you wanted to, here's an 8x10 sheet if you just wanted to print it out and do it in person, which is really fun because my wife and I did this and that worked as well. So these are choices you can make for obviously playing this game. And for this practical explanation, I have it printed on here so you can see what's happening, all right? So there's 3 different phases to this battle. There's a planning phase done by not only the ship, which is the playing characters, as well as the game master. Then there's the reveal. Everyone shows you what they've done, and then they roll to adjudicate damage if that is what occurs, right? So we'll see how this works. So in the planning phase, we'll just do the playing party first. This is their ship. Captain decides whether to take defensive or attack measures, and that's explained in another video. Then the pilot's going to decide which hex the ship will fly into next. And he has a certain choice based on where he's located, right? And the gunnery decides which hex they're going to fire the weapons into. They can fire anywhere on the grid. That's just kind of, I know the rules may be a little different White Star. I'm just saying anywhere on this grid is easily shootable, right? So the pilot decides of the 3 choices, or actually 4. You can shoot at 0310, right? 0409 and 0510, or they can just stay where they started and not move at all. They have 4 different choices to go for the next round, right? They're going to make their choice secretly, write it down, and wait for the reveal phase. When I played on Roll20, they type the numbers into the chat. They talk as a group. I actually have the headphones off. They talk, and then they wave when they're ready, or they send me a text message on my phone. Hey, we're ready. Go ahead and put your stuff in, and then we start playing, which was sort of fun, okay? The next part is the gunnery. The gunnery makes the decision where will be the best firing position. 0401, 0502, 06 number 1, or you can actually shoot where the ship is right now, thinking it's not going to move. They're going to write it down too. In this case, they put it in the chat on Roll20, but they're not going to show what they've done until the reveal phase. So the next part is the game master, right? So I'm the game master, and I take my enemy ship. I decide where he's going to shoot and where he's going to fly into. Then we both push the enter button for the chat, or we both reveal their stuff like on a notepad, what we plan on doing, and this is the reveal phase. So the game master, being me, I tell them I'm going to move from this phase, 0501 to 0602, right? Actually, it's not 0602. I don't think so. No, okay, well, that's messed up, but I'm going to fire into this quadrant down here, okay? And for the same time, this guy determines he's going to attack. The pilot's going to fly it up, straight up, which is not where I fired, but the gunnery's going to fire into the quadrant I'm at, 0601, okay? So, once again, the enemy ship would take damage there. This is how it works, right? So the enemy ship will miss the player ship, totally fires, misses an empty quadrant, and the ship will suffer an attack roll against it. So in this case, the player characters are going to fire and going to hit that ship. So it's a kind of a game, kind of like Battleship. It's sort of fun, except it's a movable battleship, right? So then all of a sudden, once you get to the rolling phase, the captain rolls You know, his roll adds +1 on opponent's player roll. Everyone's going to boost up if they're going to go on the attack. Remember, once they say attack or reveal, that's declared in the very beginning, so that way you can't change. Oh, I'm going to hit them, they're going to miss me. Now I'm going to switch from defensive maneuvers to attack. That's determined in the roll too. So you have to write down 3 things: whether you attack or defend, where the pilot's going, and where the guns are going. And then it's all determined at the rolling phase what exactly happens. So if they were playing the attack phase, everybody's going to attack. They get a +4 to their attack and increase in damage, right? So this is a way to play this game. It's actually kind of fun, right? So then, in the book, there's actually stuff about damage reports. And if you have, once your vessel reaches 75% of hit points, it's considered minor damage, and it takes certain penalties, right? This may be something you may want to incorporate. You don't have to. Like I said, these are house rules. So if you decide, wow, the ship took like 50% damage, it should have something done to it, slow down movement or targeting, or some weapons are disabled. Things. These are things you can do to enhance the game, right? I like to make things move fairly simple. I say smoothly. So some of this I use, sometimes I don't use it, right? If I'm losing the audience, I make a move on this, right? So the whole thing continues in the same pattern. So it's a plan, reveal, roll phases. They just keep on using over and over again. And the idea is to get your ship to the top of the grid, okay? If, for instance, you go off the grid, just letting you know, when you go this way, you come back onto the other side. Could be a strategy. But you can't just go off the grid and say I'm free. You have to keep going. So he might go this way, he might go this way, and come back over this way. So there's a whole bunch of choices you can make. It's just like a hex flower. You continue on the other side and keep going, right? So the goal is to make it to the top of the grid, right? So make sure you recollect what your stats are for your ship. So a blockade runner can move 9 times on the grid, while the dreadnought only moves 3. So what I have is, like, in this case, you could make it dividable, but I just say the first 3 movements can be done by the dread, and then it cannot move anymore, and it could just fire. So that makes that a little interesting. So the dreadnought can literally keeps moving, so it can move like on 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 all the way up to 9. But the dreadnought is pretty much stuck, but his guns still can fire everywhere. So that's what makes it kind of interesting. And I make it that the dreadnought fires 1 time for each type of weapon. So 3 different shots will come out of that dreadnought at the block runner. Now, on this thing, there's a ton of ships. I mean, ton of guns. 20 heavy lasers and 8 of these. That's too much rolling. I just say for each type, you get to make a roll to find out how much damage is done. That's just what I'm going to do. You do what you like. I just think it's kind of boring to watch someone roll a ton of dice, so I try to find probably the easiest way to play this. So the dreadnought will always be able to fire during every reveal phase, making it a deadly opponent because it's going to fire 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times, compared to the blockade runner's only 1 time of firing. Like I said, I do a little different, right? The ship is reduced to 0 hit points. The victor ship can choose a couple of things. One of them is board the ship and take the spoils of war and capture prisoners. Destroy the ship, just say we're just destroying it. Or the third thing is leave it derelict and continue on with the journey, right? So you might want to flip through there and see how it works for you, whether it makes sense. If it does, great, use it. If it doesn't, then find another method of doing so. But here's my thing that's talked about in the Spaceship Battle with the actual crew, what they can do, and that's just there as a means of clicking on it so you can easily see it. That's going to be used for the actual roll phase. This is the roll phase of battle. Okay. So with that, I appreciate your time. I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully it works for you. If it doesn't, I'm sorry it didn't work for you, but if you get to use it and it works for you, great. Just please leave some feedback. Let me know how you changed it or how you made things better, because I'd love to change things if it seems to make more sense, right? Thanks a lot. Have a great day.